Imagine stepping out of your spacecraft, ready to plant your flag on the largest planet in our solar system. You take one step forward and fall, and keep falling. Through clouds of ammonia and methane, through storms wider than Earth itself, falling for hours, days even, until the pressure around you becomes so intense that, well, let's just say you won't be sending any postcards home. Before we get started, check out the link in the description to download our ebook. So, what would actually happen if humans tried to land on Jupiter? Spoiler alert, it's way stranger and more terrifying than you think. Jupiter is the giant of our solar system. And I mean giant, you could fit 1,300 Earths inside it. This massive world has fascinated humanity for thousands of years, from ancient astronomers who named it after the king of the Roman gods, to modern scientists who've sent probes to study its mysteries. But here's the thing about Jupiter that makes it fundamentally different from Earth, Mars, or any other planet you might fantasize about visiting. Jupiter doesn't have a surface. At all, it's what we call a gas giant. Essentially, a massive ball of hydrogen and helium with no solid ground whatsoever. So when we ask, what would happen if we tried to land on Jupiter, we're really asking, what would happen if we dove into the most hostile atmospheric ocean in our solar system? Let's find out. Let's start with what you'd encounter first. Jupiter's atmosphere. Unlike Earth's relatively thin atmospheric blanket, Jupiter's atmosphere extends down for thousands of kilometers. The outer layer, the part you'd hit first, is actually pretty cold, around -150 degrees Celsius. It's made mostly of hydrogen and helium, with clouds of ammonia, ice crystals floating around. But before you even enter those clouds, you've got another problem: gravity. Jupiter's gravity is 2.5 times stronger than Earth's. That means if you weigh 150 pounds on Earth, you'd weigh 375 pounds on Jupiter. Well, if Jupiter had a surface, which it doesn't, but you get the idea, your body would feel more than twice as heavy, making every movement exhausting. So picture this. You're in your spacecraft, beginning your descent. The gravity is pulling you down with crushing force. You're entering the upper atmosphere now. So far, so good, right? Wrong. This is where things get really weird. As you descend deeper, the atmosphere gets thicker and thicker and thicker. The pressure starts building exponentially. At around 100 kilometers down, the pressure is already about 10 times Earth's atmospheric pressure at sea level. That's like being 100 meters underwater, but you keep falling because there's nothing to land on. At 1,000 kilometers down, the pressure reaches about 1 million times Earth's surface pressure. The temperature has climbed to around 5,000 degrees Celsius. That's hotter than the surface of the Sun. Yes, you read that right. The inside of Jupiter is hotter than the surface of the Sun. Here's where it gets absolutely wild. The hydrogen around you is no longer a gas. Under this immense pressure, it's been crushed into a liquid. Not like water, we're talking about liquid, metallic hydrogen. A state of matter so exotic it can barely be created in laboratories on Earth. It conducts electricity like metal, but flows like liquid. You'd continue falling through this liquid metallic hydrogen layer, which extends for tens of thousands of kilometers. Scientists believe there might be a solid core at Jupiter's center, possibly made of rock and ice, but we're not entirely sure. If it exists, it would be about the size of Earth. With temperatures around 24,000 degrees Celsius and pressures millions of times greater than anything on our planet. So, to answer the question directly, you can't land on Jupiter because there's no surface. You just keep descending into increasingly hostile conditions until you're not you anymore. Let's get specific about what would happen to a human body attempting this journey. And I'm warning you, it's not pretty. First, the radiation. Jupiter has the strongest magnetic field of any planet in our solar system, which creates intense radiation belts. Before you even entered the atmosphere, this radiation would be frying your electronics and your cells. Even our toughest space probes can only survive a few hours in this environment. As you descend and the pressure builds, your spacecraft would start to creak and groan. The windows would shatter, the hull would buckle. At a certain depth, probably around 100 to 200 kilometers. Down your ship would be crushed like a soda can in a hydraulic press. If you somehow survived that in a magical, indestructible suit, the pressure would still get you. Your body is designed for Earth's atmospheric pressure. Under Jupiter's increasing pressure, the gases in your body would be compressed. Your lungs would collapse. Your cells would be crushed. Oh, and did I mention the storms? Jupiter's famous Great Red Spot is a hurricane that's been raging for at least 350 years. It's 2 to 3 times the size of Earth. Wind speeds reach 430 kilometers per hour. Imagine falling through that turbulence while being crushed and fried simultaneously. The brutal truth: a human would survive maybe seconds to minutes in Jupiter's upper atmosphere, and that's being generous. Long before you reached the deep interior, you'd be vaporized, crushed, and scattered among the clouds. But let's get speculative for a moment. What if we had technology so advanced that we could somehow survive the journey? Imagine a probe made of materials that could withstand millions of atmospheres of pressure, maybe built from exotic matter or protected by some kind of force field. This probe could potentially descend all the way to Jupiter's core. Here's a cooler idea. Instead of landing on Jupiter, what if we floated in Jupiter? Some scientists have proposed the concept of cloud cities, floating habitats in Jupiter's upper atmosphere, where the pressure and temperature are actually quite reasonable. Around the altitude where the pressure equals Earth's sea level, you could theoretically have breathable, oxygen-rich pockets in the hydrogen atmosphere. Did you know? The pressure at Jupiter's core is estimated to be 40 million times Earth's atmospheric pressure. That's about 4,000 times greater than the pressure at the deepest part of Earth's oceans, the Mariana Trench. No material known to humanity could withstand that. Some futurists even speculate about mining Jupiter's atmosphere for helium-3, a rare isotope that could be incredibly valuable for fusion reactors. Robotic craft could skim the upper atmosphere, collecting gases and returning to orbit. But humans actually going down there, that's firmly in the realm of probably never going to happen. Fun fact, we've actually sent one probe into Jupiter's atmosphere. NASA's Galileo probe descended in 1995, transmitting data for 57 minutes before being destroyed by the crushing pressure and heat. It only made it about 160 kilometers down, barely scratching the surface, so to speak. So, what would happen if humans tried to land on Jupiter? The short answer? We'd fail spectacularly. We'd be irradiated, crushed, melted, and ultimately scattered across the largest planet in our solar system. But here's what's truly amazing. Even though Jupiter is completely inhospitable to human life, even though we could never set foot on it, it's still one of the most fascinating objects in our cosmic neighborhood. It's a planet that challenges our understanding of physics, that creates states of matter we can barely replicate on Earth, and that protects our little blue world by deflecting asteroids and comets with its massive gravitational pull. Jupiter reminds us that the universe isn't built for us. These massive alien worlds exist on scales and under conditions that make our earthly experience seem impossibly fragile and precious. While we may never land on Jupiter itself, we can explore its fascinating moons like Europa, with its subsurface ocean that might harbor life, or volcanic Io with its sulfurous geysers. The Jovian system has plenty to offer human exploration, even if the planet itself must remain forever off. So here's my question for you. If you could visit any place in the Jovian system, Jupiter's moons, its rings, or just observe the planet from a safe distance, where would you go and why? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed diving into this cosmic thought experiment, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more mind-blowing space scenarios. Because trust me, the universe has plenty more impossibilities to explore. Thanks for watching, and remember, some places are best appreciated from very, very far away.